Hi everyone, I'm Shayla Criddlebaugh, and this is my reflection over my technology integration Padlet. So as you can see, I organized my Padlet into columns that are titled into the specific categories. So this is actually a snippet of the top of my Padlet. So it's entitled Technology Integration Resources, and then I have all of my categories in columns, and all of the information that I wanted to go in each one falls in a little column underneath each title. How I selected all of my posts on my Padlet was basically their relevance to myself and how I teach and what I teach. I teach chemistry and physical science, and I like to use a flipped classroom method, so I looked a lot into blended learning, and I'm interested in I like having very specific rules. So when I'm integrating my technology, I want to know that I'm doing a good job. So I want kind of a checklist of this is what it looks like, and if you're doing this, then you're doing it right. So I kind of looked into things from that perspective. It was also based on interest because I'm interested in a lot of things that would help my flipped classroom go either better or make it easier on me or the students, which it's already in pretty good shape, but I know it could always be improved. And I'm a science teacher, so I wanted to look into things that could be specific to my content, and also some things that would help me to better my technology integration. So helpfulness kind of falls into those other two categories as well. I wanted to find things that would be helpful for me, so when I refer back to them, I'll know specifically the question I'm asking, go to that specific category, and I think that I'll find the answer with the posts that I have. So how the choices that I have can be implemented in my classroom? Well, I definitely think they'll help me with lesson preparation, because I'm trying to revamp all of my lessons, use them in the flipped classroom, but also use more technology integration and more digital tools, so I can refer to that for my lesson preparation. Also, there's a lot of inspiration in there because I really enjoy TED Talks, so I included a lot of those. And there are a lot of integration tips that I put in there, and it also tells me whether I'm doing a good job or not. So some of those things to look for in a well-integrated classroom. And then I also added several digital tools that I'm very interested in and would like to try out in the near future. So when I'm preparing my lessons, not only will I get inspiration from some of the articles or videos I've chosen, I'll also go through my digital tools column, and I can kind of maybe pick one that would work. Some new things that I learned in doing this Padlet was kind of the direction that the educational community is moving in. Based on all the TED Talks, the forward thinkers want us to get that technology into the classroom, and that's what education is going to be in the future. Not necessarily are teachers going to be replaced by technology, but if teachers don't know how to use the technology, they will be replaced. So I learned a lot about that and what the experts say about technology integration, what it should look like and what it is not. I found a lot of new resources for my classroom, specifically digital tools. I also found a new framework that we did not discuss in this class, but I think was very helpful as far as how I think, so that was helpful. And then I included a lot of videos and examples and checklists of what good technology integration looks like, because I like having guidelines to try to meet. So it's kind of a goal to be attained for me. What am I most excited to use after doing this Padlet? The first thing, as you can tell, I really like guidelines because they help me set my goals. So I found an article that tells me that technology is integrated well when, and it has 10 or 11 different things that it says you're doing it well when this is happening. And so I know I can think back and reflect on my classes and say, okay, yeah, I integrated technology well this time, or, oh no, that wasn't it. I'm also really excited because based on a discussion board this week, I found a digital tool suggestion called eMaze, and I went through an example of it and it looked really amazing, and I'd like to use it in projects and stuff in my class in the future, so I put it on there. And also Evernote to not only organize myself, but I thought perhaps the students could start organizing themselves online, whether it's their schedules or notes and things for my classes. So I'm really looking forward to looking into that. The last thing that I have on here is how I would use Padlets with my students. The first thing that came to my mind was when we do projects. A lot of times it's really hard for my students to keep track of where they get all their information, and a works cited is sometimes really difficult to get them to do, and I thought maybe they could use that to consolidate all of the things they used on their projects and organize them in a certain way so they can refer back to them and then make their works cited in the end. Another thing was to help them organize things. We have a flipped classroom, as I said, so I thought perhaps they could organize all of their notes and resources and anything that they used, even the videos, under those columns like I did on my first slide. And they could have perhaps ionic bonds on one column, and then covalent bonds, and then metallic bonds, and compare and contrast all of the things that I've given them throughout those units. So those were the ideas of how I would like to use Padlet. And that is the end of my reflection. Thanks for listening.